Hey there, Gemini. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, all you need to do is go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or of course you may also simply follow those links below. Also, for those of you who like to go deep, the incoming wave video is up, and you can view that on my main channel page by clicking on my avatar. So what is going on when it comes to this coming week? Well, this week's main theme is the Hermit upright, and it's kind of interesting because I'm actually seeing this as carrying a bit of a dual meaning. Yes, I am seeing that a lot of you Gemini people are going to be distancing yourselves and your activities from spaces that you normally share with others, and this could actually be something that you are doing because the Hermit is telling me that you're actually stepping away to almost create the platform or the support system for a whole new life. Now, this can happen in a lot of different ways. Maybe we're choosing to pull our energy away from certain friends, certain groups, certain projects. Maybe we're actually deciding to distance ourselves from even paths or commitments that we have had in order to actually make room, reevaluate, but also customize, sort of reorder and declutter our lives and transform them into something completely different. Because I'm actually seeing that with the Hermit. It's very interesting. There's this sort of sense of, yes, the Hermit is there taking space and taking time, but it's almost like the Hermit is going off alone to start a whole new life, a whole new environment. Now, is this cutting all things and all people out of your life entirely? Absolutely not. But it is something that you are actually going to be creating, starting, or embarking on in private. Others will follow, and some may not. But this does feel like a week for a lot of you Gemini people to, in a sense, not only start putting yourself first, but also allow yourself to get decluttered from a lot of external stimuli, pressure, or even input that is actually serving to only slow down your progress at this time. With the Hermit, I'm also seeing a lot of you going through a period where you are excelling, but you are being plucked, in a sense, out of maybe groups, teams, places that you normally share that space with. You are rising up and out of an environment that you are used to being in. There's an invitation possibly to join other hermits in this week for you, but it is going to be putting you ahead. And I think that there is something about this week that is asking for a lot of you to please be okay with starting a new life on your own. It doesn't mean you are abandoning or destroying any kind of relationships or people, but sometimes we can't always just bring the whole crew every time we need to start something new. In fact, as we get to the material affairs, when we talk about money, we talk about your personal abundance, your professional aspirations, we have the Three of Wands upright. And beautiful news is coming your way as we actually have a new world, a new opportunity, a new role, a new job, or something like that start to actually move in to your space. And I'm actually seeing this Three of Wands very much with the Hermit. You are not awaiting your ships, so to speak, but you have actually gone to them. You are approaching them yourself. And with the Three of Wands, there is this sense of, again, being picked out of the crowd, getting plucked out of the masses, being given a chance to sort of have your day in the sun. And one of the things I'm seeing with the Three of Wands is that this is going to expedite a launch of some kind for you, whether it's a launch of material goods coming your way, a launch of yourself towards said material goods, possibly, yes, a new job or an elevation of stature or position. But with the Three of Wands, you have to understand that this is something that would be happening fairly quickly, and it may actually happen in a way that is out of sync with an existing schedule. So be prepared to be flexible. As we get to the communications for friends, for relatives, other people in your life, we have the Queen of Swords upright. And it does look like somebody is actually offering to either take something on for you, take on a challenge, take on a burden, maybe even take on a conflict that you have been dealing with all by yourself. Now, I do not see this, however, as someone teaming up with you. Very much with the Hermit, this is somebody offering to take something off your hands. Now, when you put it in the Queen of Swords' hands, you will be losing say in how the Queen of Swords goes about actually confronting the issue, taking on the challenge, rising to the occasion. But this is somebody offering to relieve you of a burden as well, or a shackle as well. What I like about this Queen of Swords is that this is somebody absolutely who can get the job done. And sometimes we get this card when we have to know when to surrender a job that we can't get done to someone who can, because either they have the power, the resources, or maybe the objectivity, in the case of the Queen of Swords, the lack of attachment, lack of emotional investment, or more of a sense of what we can do with impartiality than we do. It is going to be a bit of a test of your faith, however, because you might feel like you don't like giving up that kind of, not necessarily control in a bad way, but you don't want to you might feel as though this person may do things in a way you would not approve of. Now, the Queen of Swords stays ethical and stays on the level, but at the same time, it may not necessarily confirm or work with any preferential treatments or biases you've been giving other people connected to this issue. Either way, maybe it's better we let them do it. As we get on to the emotional and romantic concerns, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. And there is this sense of an unburdening, the sense of an abandon going on here as well. I'll be frank, a lot of you Gemini people may be finding that romance itself, if you're single, may not necessarily be too active this week. Now, the Ten of Wands reversed does not necessarily say that you're giving up and all is bleak and hopeless. I'm just doing a weekly reading, but just don't catastrophize. But the Ten of Wands reverse can indicate here that some of you may not be actually giving this any time, any energy. In fact, for a lot of you, even in established relationships this week, relationships may actually have to kind of, be put in a resting spot for now, because of all the other activity we see going on with the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords, or something going on with a partner. Now, I'm not seeing we are abandoning the relationship, but we may actually be abandoning something that we had hoped to, or maybe did not hope to, but simply thought we had to hold on to for the future, or create for the future. In the Ten of Wands reverse case, though, I see this as a positive relief. Some of you who are maybe going to meet somebody new this week, or those of you in existing relationships, may find that there is something that you don't have to do or have to have the relationship that you want. Or perhaps even a partner or somebody new is abandoning something that maybe has been a preoccupation with them for far too long, and we now have an opportunity to have a brighter future of this relationship that has nothing to do with whatever one or both of you has been deciding to constantly drag around. And this freedom is going to allow for, well, as we said with the Hermit, a chance to privately start a new life. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.